welcome to the post-game press conference of Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the North Bay Battalion and the Peterborough Petes, where the series now stands at 2 each. Joining us now is Battalion head coach Ryan Olahan and Owen Van Stiesel. Coach, a big win for your team tonight, putting an end to the Petes' undefeated home streak. Are you happy with how the team came together?
Of course. I mean, that's a big effort by our guys for sure, to be able to bounce back in a tough building to play in. This is extremely, give them all the credit. I mean, this is why they've been undefeated so far. They play really, really well at home. But ultimately, great start by our guys. That just shows how committed our group is and how mature they are. And then we got some timely goals for sure. Big effort in net, like always, and able to kind of hang on there in the third when they made a big push. But feels good, obviously, to go back home 2-2.
Owen, you recorded a pair of goals and an assist in tonight's win. What was the momentum out there on the ice for you tonight?
I think just sticking to what I do best. I try to go out there and be a competitor each and every night and try to make my minutes count.
Timing of some goals tonight, you know, getting the first goal a minute 23 in and then getting a goal with a minute left in the second period, just how important those are at those times of the game.
It was really important for sure. You know, we had that ever since game one. We've kind of had this thing where we got to try to match them with their starts. They're such a fast starting team, so to be able to get that one so quick was huge. And then every time they kind of were, you know, making those big pushes, we were able to get that next one, which was massive. You know, having a 2-goal lead versus a 1-goal lead in the third period was big for us.
And then, Owen, you had a shorthanded breakaway on Michael Simpson, and he makes a big save off you. And only, you know, a few seconds later, you're down there and you beat him. Talk about that whole sequence and just kind of what was going through your mind each time you had a chance there.
Yeah, well, I think it first starts with not cheating. I think doing the right things on the ice will get you rewarded. And he's a great goaltender, so I didn't get him on the first chance, but luckily I got him on the second.
Coach, can you just talk about, obviously they come down, they hit the crossbar, then you guys go down and get the goal, the timely goals that you mentioned earlier, and then late in the second there, they have the power play to try to chance to tie it, and you guys end up going down and getting a shorthanded goal. Can you just talk about those timely goals and coming through in the clutch to make sure that you take advantage of opportunities and really, you know, change the momentum in the game when they looked like they were going to steal it twice there?
It's you know what, I'll kind of go back to what I said last night a little bit, where you got to earn your breaks. You got to earn those kind of moments of the game for sure. You know, when that happens, that gives life to your bench sometimes. You know, that was an empty net. They hit the post. Okay, great. Let's make the best we can with it right away. So sometimes that can give your group a little bit of momentum and a little bit of urgency. So those two moments, like you said, were huge. And again, credit to our penalty kill today was outstanding. I mean, always your best penalty killer has to be the guy in net, and he was outstanding. And when we got down there, you know, obviously it was tough to go with the penalties there in the second period, but to get through that was huge.
For Coach, you spoke last night about the dimensions of this rink being a little bit different than most rinks left in the Ontario Hockey League, the squared corners, I guess you could say, and even the benches being located where they are. Just talk about any adjustments that you might have needed to make and anything you needed to compensate for with the way that this kind of rink is structured and letting the guys know that.
You know, it was interesting. A lot of people might not know this, but last year, just based on how it was Eastern Conference, Western Conference, some of our players have never played in this rink or only have played when they're 16 years old. I didn't even know that factor either. So getting a full game, it just, everything happens a little bit quicker. You know, I wouldn't say the squared corner. I mean, yeah, for sure that's something, but the benches is a big thing, just the way they are, and it makes your line changes a little bit different and difficult on the road. So I think just getting a lot of guys that first game last night helped, obviously, with our start here today, because it wasn't a factor, you know, and then you just start playing the game. So, but you just get through it, you move on, and, you know, ultimately it was a big win in this rink for sure.
One quickly for Owen, your line came through with 2 big goals tonight. As the third line, everybody talks about, you know, how much talent you guys have up front with that top 6, but just talk about your line being able to come through there twice during the night and really building momentum up for your team offensively.
Yeah, well, it's nice to have the depth on this team. We like a lot of matchups in that room, and we just try to go out and battle and compete. And I think it's known that we work hard and we try to do the little things right, and we got rewarded tonight.
Question for both of you, starting with Coach. You've been in this situation all 3 rounds, going home, best 2 out of 3 with home ice advantage. Just thoughts going into that and how special it is to go back home to your fans, where home ice has been a big deal in this playoffs for both of you.
Of course, it's a big change, with the result here tonight. Going back home 2-2, it feels good. Now, saying that, we gotta take advantage now of the scenario and of the situation. It's not going to be easy. As you're seeing, this is incredibly difficult series, and it's only going to get more intense, I think, as the games go on. So, we like, obviously, our fans, our building. The 7th man is, as been mentioned in this series, has been proud and prominent for both teams. So it's going to be important for, us to have a good Friday night and get back home.
Just one for Ryan from me. Yesterday you touched on how it's been the team coming from behind who surged ahead and grabbed a win, grabbed a goal. What does that tell you about this series?
It tells me that both teams are very similar, in terms of it's like a bit of a chess match. I've said that before. We're trying to kind of do the same things. We're trying to play fast. We're trying to, when we have the puck, the transition game, those types of things. And when the other team doesn't have the puck, we're trying to be on the right side of things and all that. So I think you're seeing when the team is down, they just kind of go pedal to the metal and kind of play freer with the other team, trying to protect things.
Ryan, Pete's only had 2 goals on you, and you were able to lock them down there in the third period. They had 17 shots, but you guys were up to the task and didn't allow them to score. What did you guys do that period to be able to prevent any offense going on from Peterborough?
I think the big thing there was just we got in the way of some shots. We blocked some really good shots, and then whenever they did get a shot through, we were really good in front of the crease. Us getting to that second puck, I think you saw that a lot there in the third. We got to the second puck and was able to clear that out of danger. So credit to our guys, and like this guy beside me, unsung hero. Their line was fantastic all game, and couldn't be happier for them.
A lot of the threats that the Pete's made during that game where they were trying to do cross-crease passes, trying to get that one-timers, but the defense was there, able to make a good number of stops. What do you think the defense did right in order to prevent those from going in?
Well, again, you're not going to take away scoring chances from elite players. You just got to try to limit them. So the best you can, you try to get your sticks in the right position, make those reads, and ultimately, the first one's going to go and get to the net. It's what you do with that second chance. So that was big for us here tonight.
Joining us now is Pete's head coach, Rob Wilson, and J.R. Avon. Coach, not the result you were looking for tonight, your first loss at home. What's the message for the guys as you prepare to return to North Bay on Friday now?
Well, I think, I thought we played a really good game. I thought so did North Bay, but they had a great start. When you have almost 40 shots, we had most of the possession. We had a lot of the offensive zone, big chances, but they had such a great start, and we were on catch-up the whole game. And that was the difference in the game, and credit to them. I thought their goaltender was exceptional tonight, and I thought they cleared a lot of pucks around the crease area when we had opportunities. I thought they were quick on the second puck to make those clears, and we couldn't seem to get that next one. Lockie has a great chance to open it, and it just bobbles on him, and so this is a series, right? This is a series when the numbers don't always tell a game, and the score tonight, I give full credit to North Bay. When you go through, like I said, a lot of the numbers and chances and stuff, you're like, we should have had a couple more. But they had such a great start come at us and made it difficult for us. And like I said, we've been playing catch-up most of the game, and when you're doing that, it's a different type of mentality, and I give them a lot of credit. That's a big road win, and that's why they're the team they were this year, and that's a huge win.
JR, with the series now tied at 2, you know for sure that you're going to be returning to the PMC on Sunday. Is it sort of a boost in the morale after seeing Peterborough come together as a city to support you in Game 3 and 4?
Yeah, totally. When you look up, you see all the fans wearing white, so yeah, it's a big boost, and I think we were feeling pretty good in the room. We lost this game, but the morale's still there. The team still has the hopes of winning the series, so the morale's really high still.
We're now going to open up the floor.
Rob, you talked about the start that North Bay had, but there you were in the second period with power play chances to get the game back to even, and it ends up being a shorthanded goal late in the period for them. That was maybe a big key point in the game. Can you just talk a little bit about how that factored into the outcome?
Yeah, it was a massive point. They score that goal. If we score and it's 3-3, totally different third period. That's what I tell them when I said about catching up. We did catch up, and then we had to catch up again. I thought our third period was excellent, but I thought North Bay's was good. So it's a thing where both coaches probably feel their team played pretty well in the third period. They just didn't give up that goal with their goaltending and the way they cleared second pucks. And we had a lot of sustained pressure. It's two good teams battling. And like I said, Mike, when you try and catch up once, it's hard enough. And we did. And then that goal made it really difficult for us to make that second catch up. But we didn't quit, and the push was there. And tough game. But we feel still good. And like we said, this is going to be a 6-7 game series right from the start, and you're talking about two really good teams.
You're reaching into your depth a little bit with the injury and suspension, and Tommy Perdeller with a goal and assist tonight. Like, you need those sort of efforts, right, from the depth players when that happens? Yeah, for sure. And you look at, where they got their goals tonight. They got big goals, too, from depth players. So, that's why these teams are where they are. And that's why, you're looking at both series at 2-2, because that's the time of year it is. It's not, there's no easy game, there's no easy period, there's no easy shift. And, it's a game of sometimes just a little momentum shift, and that goal at the end of the second was a momentum shift. I did like our pushback in the third, and a great work by them in the third, too. So it's 2-2, and we're going to North Bay, and we're going no matter what. So it is what it is. We got to go up there and play the exact same way with that type of work ethic, and try and come up with the victory. And last one for me, for JR, just how the game changes moving up to North Bay, how it's a little different in that rink than it is here, and what the key for you guys is to pull one out there.
Obviously stick to the systems we got. The boards aren't the same down there, but it's going to be a little quicker. But I think sticking to the system's a big thing, and playing our way. I thought we played pretty good in the third. It's hard to catch up, like he was saying. But the big goal from Lockie there, if it goes the right way, instead of hitting the post, changes the game completely. So sticking to the systems for sure.
JR, when they're locking it down in the third period with a 2-goal lead, what were they doing that was giving you guys such a hard time being able to really generate that offense that you needed to get back in the game? And what do you think you need to correct if that happens again in Game 5?
I thought they were all just coming back to the hole, right back to the net, and it was pretty hard to get inside on them. But I think if we just shoot the puck more, this goalie looks a little shaky right now. So if we keep shooting the puck at him, get a rebound, and the way should turn.
Coach, you're known as a fast-starting team. When the other team gets a fast start on you, how do you guys, have to play catch-up in a situation that you're not usually in? Usually you're the one with the hot start. So how does that kind of change things from the strategy standpoint?
Yeah, you know what, we weren't happy with it, and it was, I thought we were soft on pucks in the first 5-6 minutes. And then, you know what, I thought we were going. And, you just got to stick to the process. Like I said, this is a series. This isn't one game. And when you're playing really good teams, and at this time of the year you're playing as good as it's out there. I said last night they're probably one of the best teams in junior hockey, not just the OHL. So you know what? It's you got to have a good start. You can't have that type of start. The same thing happened to us in Game 1. We had a good start, and then we locked it down, and they couldn't get that get it back to get the win. And you know what? It's difficult, but I think for us, we're looking at it. It's 2-2. They're probably looking at it the same as us. It's 2-2. Nobody's done. Everyone's done a lot, but no one's done much. And I keep saying that until the series is over. So it's 2-2, and we'll go to work tomorrow and get ready for Friday.
Quick follow-up to that. It's a best-of-3, as you mentioned now. What changes now that you've won a game there in Game 1? You know you have to win there at least one more time with it being a best of 3. You know, what's the message for the guys in the room saying take it game by game and making sure that you win 2 of the next 3 to advance to the OHL championship?
Yeah, we're going up to play our best game on Friday night. I still think we got a little better in us. You know, I got to be honest. I still think there's a little more in us. And right now, I think for us, it's all about just regrouping, getting on the bus, getting focused tomorrow, getting some good video in, and being ready for Friday to bring our very best game.
Rob, statistically, the Petes were doing really well, beating North Bay in terms of, you know, face-offs won, how many penalties they've drawn, shots on net, but of course that doesn't reflect the score, obviously, as you mentioned earlier. Are there any adjustments you guys got to make going into the next game?
I think we got to get inside more. I think, but yeah, that's why I said sometimes the numbers don't always tell it. Like the score says 5-2, right? So I thought we played a very strong game. I thought there was a lot of good things. I thought North Bay played a very strong game, and because they had that great start, they were able to play a different game than what we played. And but yeah, when you go through the numbers at a quick glance right after the game, as I usually do, and the numbers all say, oh, maybe Peterborough could win that game. So both are positives for both teams, and like I said, you have to keep thinking that this is a series and not a one game off and all this, and that's what it's about. And right now we're just preparing for Game 5. We were preparing for it no matter what. Now we're preparing for it to get the win in North Bay.
GR coach, thank you.